This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. The Otago Secondary School's Music Festival is to celebrate its 50th anniversary concert at the Dunedin Town Hall tomorrow night. The show will feature about 600 music pupils from 20 schools in a number of musical performances, including from a massed choir and massed orchestra, as well as a jazz band.
Getting ready for tomorrow night's Town Hall concert. The secondary school's massed choir rehearse their songs at the Otago Boys High School auditorium. Celebrating 50 years of Otago Secondary School's music festivals, the concert is set to open with performances which recognise Dunedin's cultural roots.
Starting at 6:30, where you'll be welcomed with a mihi whakatau from Komini Cassidy, local tangata whenua, and then you'll be piped in by the John McGlashan pipers, and then the concert will kick on from then and run for about 2 hours.
Highlights of the concert will include the massed choir performing Farr's Libera Me, the massed orchestra performing the first movement of Schubert's Unfinished Symphony, and the massed jazz band playing Chick Corea's Spain. Shield says they're also including a medley of Beatles tunes to mark a shared 50th anniversary.
Trying to look at other anniversaries that are on at the same time, in particular the Beatles' 50th anniversary of Abbey Road.
Several spots have been set aside for individual groups who achieved musical success this year. And the evening will also recognise a choral conductor who has contributed to the local music scene over the past 40 years.
Richard Madden also, he spent a lot of time in the music community, so we're celebrating him, and so we look forward to him conducting as well at the festival.
Otago Secondary School's Music Festival is free admission, kicking off at 6:30 on Tuesday night at Dunedin's Town Hall. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Sometimes dubbed as the ugly sister of Dunedin's Hyde Street Key Party, this year's Agnew Street Party drew crowds of young people on Saturday. An estimated 2,000 students attended the party, dressed up in costumes ranging from TV characters to New Zealand posties, SWAT teams and a varied assortment of vegetables. At the height of the party, a one-way door policy was implemented at the bottom of the street. As the weather became increasingly cold and wet, partygoers filtered out and the event was effectively over by mid-afternoon. Police say those at the party were generally well behaved and there were no arrests. Dunedin Hospital says 17 students attended the emergency department on Saturday afternoon for various injuries and intoxication related to the party. A hospital spokesperson described it as a pretty busy afternoon. A Dunedin man says his house is falling apart because of a failure by the City Council to take decisive action after a neighbour's illegal excavation. The council says it is doing everything in its power to help bring about a solution and has given the neighbour 12 months to construct a retaining wall.
This Dunedin house in Caversham, cracking and slipping due to unpermitted excavations next door, has left homeowner Ronnie Proctor frustrated with the City Council's apparent lack of action.
End of October last year we noticed some cracking and some slumping in the house, and we got the DCC to come along and check it, and it's because the neighbour has dug a mighty big hole in his yard, and yeah, there's still damage occurring inside the house. There's cracking in the corners of walls, the cornices, the ceiling, ornate ceiling roses and everything are all cracking, etc.
Geotechnical studies say the damage is clearly caused by the excavation next door. Once the council became aware of the illegal excavation, they gave 12 months for a retaining wall to be built.
They put a notice to fix on, which forced him to get retrospective resource consent, and yeah, and since then he had since the 1st of April to get that in. That didn't get put in until probably late June, so he's got 12 months from then to actually get the house, get the retaining wall built, which means we can't get any repairs done to our house, and our house is still occurring damage for at least 12 months or until he builds the retaining wall.
However, his neighbour has told the ODT he can't start building the retaining wall while his bail conditions mean he's not allowed at his home. He also claims the issues at the Proctor House are due to poor drainage. Proctor says he was hopeful the council itself would go ahead and construct the much-needed retaining wall and thus stop the ongoing damage to his house.
Best case scenario, the council comes in, fixes it, and then we can get on with our life and get our house repaired and fixed.
The council said in a statement, legally the DCC must allow time for the owner of 20 Morrison Street to fix the problem. If this doesn't happen, the DCC can consider legal action. Proctor describes the City Council's help so far as being pretty poor.
They say they're empathetic with our situation and sympathise with us, but it's like they've just, we'll send him a letter and tell him he's got to fix it and hope that he does. And if he doesn't, maybe we'll send him another letter in 12 months' time and we'll give him another 12 months. That's the way it seems to me.
Proctor says he considered moving elsewhere, but describes his house as currently being pretty much uninsurable, making it almost impossible to sell. In Dunedin, the South Today.
One person was flown to Dunedin Hospital with critical injuries following a car crash near Balclutha yesterday afternoon. Only one person was in the car at the time. Emergency crews worked to free the driver, who was trapped in a vehicle for over 30 minutes. Police say the crash happened about 4 p.m, with the vehicle leaving the road and ending up in a paddock beside State Highway 1 just north of Balclutha at Lovell's Flat. The days of cafes getting their milk in plastic bottles may be numbered if two young Dunedin entrepreneurs have their way. Under the name of Spout Alternatives, the start-up business aims to supply milk in reusable 10-litre kegs instead of plastic bottles.
Filling up a reusable stainless steel keg with fresh pasteurised milk. The company, Spout Alternatives, is a start-up business co-founded by these two Dunedin entrepreneurs, trying to find an alternative way of supplying milk to cafes and saving the environment. Currently, most cafes get their milk in 2-litre plastic bottles, which are then discarded.
We found that in Wellington alone, 6,000 plastic milk bottles were going into the landfill every single day.
They're now starting to supply cafes with milk from their stainless steel kegs, using pasteurised milk from Merrill McNeil's Holy Cow Farm in Port Chalmers.
We've been piloting a dispensing system with him, and that's been going pretty well, and so we're looking to launch in the next 2 weeks, hopefully with our permanent dispensing system.
One of the first cafes to trial the new milk delivery system is The Corner Store, where they draw milk out of the keg using taps similar to beer taps in a bar.
Cuts down a lot of that time wasting, I guess, when you're having to reopen small bottles constantly throughout the day. Busy cafe, you're going through a fairly repetitive process with your coffee, and to have an organic, locally produced milk that's on tap is pretty special.
Each 10-litre keg holds the same as 5 large plastic milk bottles, and entrepreneurs hope to eventually eliminate plastic bottles from cafes.
In the long term, we're looking to expand nationwide and make plastic milk bottles a thing of the past in cafes.
Holy Cow Farm, which aims to be environmentally sustainable, is keen to help the initiative. Currently milking 26 cows, the farm is actually heading into a quiet period. So if this idea is a runaway success across the country, Fonterra may well have to be brought on board. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. Allied Press Chairman Sir Julian Smith is to receive an honorary doctorate, and Muslim students at the University of Canterbury are using food to bring the community together.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, we bring you the best value. We have bought a massive selection of moleskins, and we're passing on the savings to you. Buy one pair, save $25. Buy two, save $60, and we have a great deal on our knitwear. Look at it all, 25% off all our knitwear. And to go with the knitwear, what about a nice warm shirt? These are 25% off too. And while we're doing the 25% off, what about on the jackets? 25% off them as well.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So check us out for massive savings this winter.
into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
No mai anō, welcome back. Allied Press Chairman Sir Julian Smith is to receive an honorary doctorate from the University of Otago next weekend. Sir Julian, who has been involved in a range of businesses, is the fifth generation of the Smith family to take the helm of the newspaper publisher. Its flagship is the Otago Daily Times. University Vice-Chancellor Professor Harleen Haynes says Sir Julian's contribution to Dunedin and New Zealand in business and charity work has been exemplary. Sir Julian joined the board of the Allied Press in 1974 and was knighted in 2013 for services to business. Muslim students at the University of Canterbury have been building bridges in the community through barbecue. Muslim Students Association President Bariz Shah says food brings everyone together. The barbecue was their way of thanking the wider student body for its support after the March terror attack.
We're looking for similarities, and food is a similarity between nations, right? So this is just what it is right now. We're building bridges through our similarities, and that is sharing food.
All right. Good to see you, man. We good? Hold on.
The reason why we're having this barbecue here is because after 15th of March, the University of Canterbury students came together at a vigil on the 18th of March, and the love that everyone showed, the support that everyone showed us through those tough times meant a lot.
I thank everyone, New Zealand, Christchurch, University of Canterbury. You guys have been great to everyone that has been affected. Your love is unexplainable. I promise you, like everyone gathered here today, your love is unexplainable. Everybody came, everybody was quiet. There wasn't even a single word in the crowd. That in itself shows the respect that everyone had on that day and the love they showed for what had happened, you know. There was genuine tears in the crowd, and we saw that and we appreciate that, you know. And for us doing this barbecue, the reason why we're doing a barbecue is because this is just basically thanking the community here about everything that they have done for us. Our events aren't just focused on students, and lately we've been focusing on the wider community as well because we want to bridge those gaps. We have Islam Awareness Week coming up very soon. We're looking to have a comedian, hopefully from a Muslim comedian, come from Australia to come and visit us, just to add a bit of humor, you know, to that process of bridging gaps. Events that we hold are self-defense class for females, that's one of them, sports events. But recently we're looking to hold events where the entire community, not just the Muslim community or the students here on campus, but the entire Muslim community and the entire wider Canterbury community can come and basically come together. There is a gap there. I'm not going to act naive and say there isn't. But like I said, we have to focus on our similarities, and that's the only way that that gap is going to come closer. My mom brought us 5 siblings here in 2001, exactly 1 month before 9/11. And growing up here was very difficult, and I can't imagine what it would have been for her managing 5 young people in a foreign country. She didn't even know English, she couldn't drive, but she managed. All of us have graduated university. My siblings are all successful in it, and they're doing really well, so big ups to my parents, to be honest. The 15th of March. Yeah, it was a horrible day, but to me, I look back at it as a reference point, like I've stated before, a reference point for me to go back to and basically correct myself if I'm slacking. I actually won a Community Service Award for youth here in Canterbury. People may think that that award is for me, but I don't believe it is at all. Behind that award are people like my mum and dad who worked very hard to raise me in a foreign country away from everything they knew. Behind that award is my team here at UC who have done most of the work basically. They are students themselves, but they work so hard to serve their community selflessly. Behind that award is my wife, you know, so she helps me through all those days when I'm stressed out and I feel like nothing's going right. She puts everything into place and into perspective for me. So those are the people that are behind that award. I'm just basically standing there and taking it. To be honest with you, I still feel like we didn't do enough. I feel like I haven't done enough. But we did the best we could at the time of it. Everybody here is students themselves, and it was quite a struggle for everyone. So everyone did their best, but me personally, I feel like I still haven't done enough to give back to my community, and especially to the people that have lost their loved ones.
After the break on the South Today, we check out last weekend's Catlins Coast Rally and the upcoming weather.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. For a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, we bring you the best value. We have bought a massive selection of moleskins and we're passing on the savings to you. Buy one pair, save $25. Buy two, save $60, and we have a great deal on our knitwear. Look at it all, 25% off all our knitwear. And to go with the knitwear, what about a nice warm shirt? These are 25% off too. And while we're doing the 25% off, what about on the jackets? 25% off them as well.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So check us out for massive savings this winter.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Thanks for staying with us. The annual Catlins Coast Rally was held on Saturday in the Northern Catlins area, just south of Balclutha. This year's rally drew 85 competitors to take on the challenges of the gravel roads, winding through the hills surrounding Owaka. Starting early on Saturday morning, the drivers faced 5.5 hours of slick and slippery back roads in weather that alternated from murky, dark and damp conditions to bursts of heavy rain. The second last stage was mostly farm tracks, while the last stage had some areas of deep gravel, seeing a number of cars spinning off the road. The winner of the event was Garrett Thomas from Darfield, driving an Impreza WRX. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. We welcome Philip Somerville.
Yes, hi. Yes, there's an interesting story from Coronet Peak. They're looking at extending more gondola use over the summer, but the story that caught our eyes was looking long term. They're looking at having snow factories, special machines, so they can make snow in warmer temperatures and right into the summer, one day into the future. Of course, global warming will there's always been a big challenge for Coronet.
Yeah.
We've got the story about the airport and their flash new body scanners for domestic flights, so that supposedly will make the queues shorter. That report also looks at Dunedin's airport's expansion, and there's a two-stage expansion underway now, and goes into some details about that. It's interesting news this afternoon about Dave Cull, who we know standing down for mayor, and instead standing for the Southern District Health Board. So he'll obviously be a very strong candidate and take some beating on that.
He will be.
He's obviously not afraid of a challenge. The Mosgiel RSA and the bowling club, the latest development there, not good. Travel pages, there's Adelaide and food and a Fiji story. And I thought I should mention, on Saturday we had a lovely story about a fruit cake at the post office that had gone astray. And searching for the owner, well, the mystery's been solved.
Oh, really?
The owner's been found, and also the reason why that fruit cake didn't have an address on it.
We'll have to look for that.
You'll have to look for that. In
Thanks very much,
tomorrow's
Philip.
paper.
That's great.
Thank you.
And now time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, a strong, cold southwesterly airflow will bring showers and near gale-forced winds to the region later tomorrow, easing slowly on Wednesday. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, Balclutha, the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden can all expect strong southwesterlies and showers and a high of 5 or 6 degrees. Travelling westward to the Central Lakes area, Alexandra, Queenstown and Wanaka can all expect moderate southwesterlies with few showers and highs between 5 and 7 degrees. Te Anau is buffeted by strong southwesterlies and showers with a chilly high of 5 degrees. Up to the northern towns, along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are in for southwesterly change with increasing cloud and a high of 10 or 11 degrees. Further inland in Omarama and Twizel, you should expect moderate southwesterlies with some cloud and a high of 6 or 7 degrees. In Dunedin, it's forecast to be cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 7. Cloud will start breaking tomorrow with some sunny periods during the morning and moderate westerly winds, but strong, blustery, cold southwesterlies developing during the middle of the day with showers. Showers should start clearing at night with winds decreasing, a high of 10 and a low of 5. Wednesday should be mostly cloudy with a few sunny periods developing. Expect cold, fresh to strong southwesterlies, a high of 8 and a low of 3. And in Invercargill, rain should start developing later tonight with an overnight low of 5. It'll be cloudy tomorrow with rain easing to showers, some squally with hail. Very cold southwesterly winds near gale force will hit at first, but they should start easing a little during the day, a high of 7 and a low of 5. Wednesday sees showers clearing with a few sunny periods developing and very cold, strong southwesterlies slowly easing, a high of 7 and a low of 4. That's the news this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and week. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.